Okay, dear students, dear students, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to everyone in our FR orientation for December 2024 session. In today's orientation, obviously we'll be discussing the paper format. Second, we are going to discuss the syllabus of FR, what it has, basically the syllabus. And the most important point, how we are going to teach. But before the discussion of each and everything, I myself, Abil Ahmed, your FR teacher, as well as principal and CEO of Abil School of Accountancy, ASA. So let's start FR. In this paper, FR, financial reporting, so far, highest marks obtained by one of my students, they are 92. At that time, this paper was F7. And recently, if we just go 2 or 3 attempts back, one of my students took 90 marks. So let's see who is going to get more than that in this attempt. Now, first, quickly discuss the paper format. Paper format of financial reporting. Section A, we have 15 multiple choice questions, OTQ questions. And one question is having worth 2 marks. So it means entire section C will have 30 marks. And in section A, question can come from any area of the syllabus. So simply, you are not supposed to skip any area while studying, of course, any paper of ACCA. And we will also discuss what are the common reasons for the failure of this paper. Okay. Section B. In section B, there will be 3 questions. Each question will have 10 marks. So again, section B is like section A. Both have the same 30 marks, 30 marks each. But in section B, the style of the question is obviously different than the style in section A. In section B, there will be a small case study. On that small case study, examiner is going to set 5 different multiple choice questions. It means that in section B, what is the style of the question? In each question, there will be a case study. On that case study, examiner is going to set 5 multiple choice questions, and each question will have 2 marks. It means that in section B, actually, we have 3 case studies. On each case study, there will be 5 multiple choice questions. Each one will have 2 marks. So obviously, you will get 30. Now let's talk about section C. In section C, students, you will have 2 long questions. And obviously, one question will have 20 marks. So section C is having 40 marks. So this is how they have divided FR. Section A 30 marks, section B 30 marks, and section C 40 marks. Obviously, when it comes to section C, when you are dealing a numerical question, so obviously the numerical part of that question, you have to solve on the spreadsheet, and discussion part of section C question, you have to deal on MS Word. Let's see what is the question. One student is saying there is no voice. What about others? Please quickly reply. What about others? I hope that I'm audible for it's okay. Okay, now student is saying it's okay. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. Audible. Great. So now and the time allowed is 3 hours and 10 minutes. Now, before the discussion of, I would say, syllabus of FR, let me quickly highlight the main areas or main causes of failure. A very common reason for the failure is time mismanagement, poor allocation of time management. A traditional thumb rule, never forget that. And that thumb rule says 1 mark, you have 1.8 minutes. So poor time allocation. Another reason, majority of the student, they fail. The another reason is, which obviously examiner says, examiners, number of examiners, they have mentioned this. That is, normally students, they spend more time on questions which they are attempting earlier. Then obviously, for the subsequent questions, they rush. One, they rush, they then carry the time pressure as well. So then they start making mistakes. So again, the main reason is time management. Another reason of not getting good marks in a paper like FR, which is one of the easiest paper in a skills level. That is when you are conceptually weak. Obviously, if you are conceptually weak, you will not be able to answer the question. Even a normal multiple choice question can disturb you. So you have to be conceptually very strong. Very strong means very strong. If you are conceptually very strong, so it means you are going towards getting really good marks in this paper. But if you are conceptually weak, so obviously you are calling for the trouble. Just for example, a very simple example. Like IS 33, earning per share. If examiner has given you authorized share capital, you're not supposed to start. You're not supposed to start the question from authorized shares. If you are starting the question of IAS 33 from authorized shares, so obviously your weighted average number of shares will be incorrect. It's very simple. So you have to be conceptually very strong. IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customers. If you don't know when do we need to recognize the revenue over time and when do we need to recognize the revenue at point in time, so obviously you are going to make mistakes. In IFRS 15, if you do not have really good concepts of dealing with the construction contract, so obviously you are going to face problems. So another reason for the failure is poor concepts, not having really good grip on concepts. That is also another cause of the failure. Because students, when you are learning something, you should understand each and everything. And for understanding each and everything, you have to show the interest. Obviously, when you are going to show the interest, automatically the lecture becomes understandable. And automatically, when you show the interest, when you show your involvement, and after that, if you get stuck somewhere, and then you are going to ask the question in your relevant WhatsApp group, so obviously, teacher, I'm going to reply by myself. And when you are going to ask the question, it gives me the indication that you have worked hard on that question. And you got stuck somewhere. But obviously, if you're not spending time, if you're not really putting, I would say, your heart and soul into this paper. So then it becomes difficult to understand the concepts. So I would say not having a really good grip on the concept, that is another reason for the failure. Another reason, one more reason for the failure is lack of practice. Obviously, you're going to give paper, so you need practice. If you don't go for enough practice, so that is going to create the problem. So I've just highlighted the main reason for the failure. And one more thing, those students, they are not consistent with their study. That also results in failure. You need to study every day, no matter you study less, but you need to study every day. Consistency is going to make the difference. But if you are not consistent, then sorry to say, it becomes difficult to achieve a really good result. So I hope I have highlighted number of areas why the student, they actually fail in paper like FR, which is I said many times earlier as well, is one of the easiest paper. Okay, now in this financial reporting syllabus is, look at the syllabus, we have IS 1, 2, 7, 8, 10, 16, 20, 21, 23. Okay. Financial instrument. IS 32 is financial instrument, IS 28 associate. So don't worry at all. You will learn each and everything. IS 23 is borrowing cost, 21 is foreign currency transaction, 20 government grant, 16 property plant and equipment. So for working people, how can they be studying every day when they often close late? Okay, let me tell you one thing. The course of FR, which I have designed, it is equally suitable for both, for full-time students as well as for working students. And I'll give the guarantee why it is suitable. Because my job is to teach you each and everything. Number one. Number two, to make you conceptually very strong. Three, to give you the enough practice. And fourth, to do all these things in a very limited time. Because if I spend 200 hours with you, so what is the point? So by spending 200 hours, any student can study, even they can do the self-study. So my job is to teach you each and everything in a very limited period of time, and I'm going to prove that, inshallah. Don't worry at all. Enough practice. Enough practice means, enough practice does not mean both kits. No. Only one Kaplan kit is more than enough, but you have to go through the entire kit. If you cannot, at least go for 80% of the kit. That is enough. Okay, IS 33, 36, 37. And obviously the other 40, investment property, 41 agriculture. Okay, I'll come to this. IFRS 3, 5, this is just the syllabus. Entire syllabus I've written. Then we have ratio analysis also, ISB framework. Even you cannot leave ISB framework. Ratio analysis. Now, just a little idea. In financial reporting, examiner can ask, and examiner has tested, I would say, many times, ratio analysis in two ways. One, that ratio analysis means interpretation of financial statements. One, we are applying ratio analysis on a single entity financial statements. There's one company, and we are just comparing that company with another company. Or let's say we are comparing a company with its past. So ratio analysis, relating to a single company. But in many times, examiner has also asked in the past paper ratio analysis relating to the group accounts. For example, let's say we have calculated the ratio analysis of individual books of parent. Now examiner is asking us to calculate the ratio analysis of the group. And then examiner is asking us relating to the interpretation. So basically, ratio analysis you need to learn in two ways. When we are applying ratio analysis on a single entity, then what should be done? When we are applying ratio analysis on the group, so what will be the way of interpretation? And this topic of ratio analysis is so important that it can appear in section C for 20 marks. And it has appeared in the past as well, and in the previous attempt also. Consolidation, always important. Obviously, it has the potential to be examined in section C for 20 marks. But sometimes what happens, examiner combines both the topics, ratio analysis and consolidation, and sets one question. Cash flow statement, very important area of your syllabus, but it is categorically mentioned by the ACCA examination team of FR that you will not be tested in exam to prepare the entire cash flow statement. You will not be tested to prepare entire statement of cash flow for the year ended XYZ. They are not going to ask you to go for all the three activities that cash flows from operating activities, investing and financing. No. Now listen. Even though you are not going to be tested on the entire cash flow statement, but obviously in the past, they have asked us only they have given us a data for operating activities, investing, financing. So in order to tackle examination questions on this cash flow statements, it is highly advisable. At least few questions on cash flow statements, you should do it completely so that you should have a really you should have a clear idea. How do we prepare the entire cash flow statement? By using indirect method, which is in your syllabus. Okay. Then final accounts, extremely important. And I would say you will almost always, you are going to see a final account question. Almost, I'm saying in every attempt, you will see a final account question in section C. A very strong candidate. Normally, consolidation is very strong candidate for section C, ratio analysis, and obviously the final accounts. But there's a little bit chance of the cash flow statement as well. But it is very clear, entire cash flow statement is not tested. Now, final accounts. Actually, in order to attempt the final account question, all your ISS and IFRS should be very good. Because most of the time what happens in final accounts, examiner is going to give you 8 to 10 adjustments, and normally each adjustment needs the knowledge of relevant IS or IFRS. So you will be able to do, or you will be able to perform really good in final accounts when you have a really good grip on all the ISS and IFRSs. Okay, now what I just mentioned that the way we have designed this financial reporting, it is equally suitable for both those they are working student and those they are full-time students. How? Now the time has come to prove this. Entire financial reporting, entire means entire, okay? Just within 64 lectures. How many? 64. Where each lecture is just 45 minutes long. It means if I convert that into hours, so approximately, let's see, we are getting 48 hours. Wow. Just 48 hours. And one more thing. This calculation says 48 hours, but that is my own experience. Majority of the student, and I would say almost every student, they watch the lecture with the increased speed. Normally, they increase the speed. So 48 hours, they can come down to 40 hours. So within 40 hours, you can learn the entire financial reporting. The good thing is, within these 40 to 48 hours course, we have covered each and every IAS and IFRS. Plus, at the end of each IAS and each IFRS, there is a test as well. And on that test, you will find a proper video lecture also. Second point, now let's say by spending around 40 hours, you have completed the entire course. Second, weekly live revision classes, which we are going to we will take from the next week, from the coming week. Now, what is the objective of weekly live revision classes? Number one, before the weekly live revision class, topic will be already will be shared with the students, so that you should have the clear idea what topic exactly we are going to discuss. Number one, in weekly live revision classes, we will be discussing all the important area of FR, which is obviously more important for the coming attempt. It does not mean to leave the rest of the area. Second, in these weekly live revision classes, we are going to discuss the recent past paper as well. So weekly live revision classes, two objectives. One, to discuss the, I would say, extremely important area of FR, plus to discuss the recent past paper with you. And obviously, weekly live revision classes, they give you the opportunity to interact with your tutor. If you have any queries, you can always ask in the WhatsApp group, relevant WhatsApp group. Plus, you can even ask in the live revision classes. So third one is the WhatsApp support. Mock. Another reason for the failure is when students, they do not attempt mock, that also create the problem. So it is highly advisable, do attempt the mock, and we conduct the mock exactly on a CB platform. You will get the same simulation which you are going to face in exam. And obviously notes. You will get the notes as well. So if you have seen all the 64 lectures, second, it is highly advisable, do not skip the weekly live revision class. Of course, if you miss that class, recording will be available, recording will be uploaded on the portal. But obviously, when your teacher is conducting the live revision class, so I think you should attend, you should take out the time. Now, students, any question if you want to ask, please go ahead. So you have I'm giving you 5 minutes to ask any question you want to ask. Sir, will there be available? Yes, everything will be available. If you miss the live session, so I think after just 2 hours, everything will be uploaded on the portal. Approximately when should I be able to finish all your recordings? I want to give time to revise, practice. I've heard your lectures are extremely different and easy. Thank you from others. Thank you very much. So lectures are obviously, they are very different and easy as well. We go through videos as well. So what are the main areas? See, what are the main, each and every area is very important, of course. But in the weekly lab revision classes, you will get to know more. Students, if you have seen all the lectures, you have attempted the weekly lab revision classes, plus you have attempted the test and assignments as well. So I would say it's very easy to pass FR in the first attempt with really good marks. One student says, sir, how many months we can prepare for it? Sir, listen. Number one, you have to give at least 48 hours to the pre-recorded course. You need to attend weekly lab revision classes. Take out at least 20 hours for this. So actually, all you need is you need to take out around, I would say, at least 80 to 90 hours. So make it 100 hours. So now it's up to you. You can divide the 100 hours per day, approximately 3 point some hours, 3.33 hours you need to take out. Sir, I'll be glad if you have lecture in Hindi as well. Yes. FR is available in English as well as FR is available in Urdu and Hindi also. All of my lectures, they are available in both the languages. So lectures are available, students, in both the languages. Any other question, students? I'm just writing my number as well and my admin number, if you need to contact. Let me quickly write my number. If you're outside Pakistan, 0092 333 223355. If you're within Pakistan, 03333223355. ASA admin number, of course, if I'm not available, I'm not reachable. So it is highly advisable to contact the admin rather than me. Admin response time is excellent. So 0092 333 If you are within Pakistan, 03333 Let me take more questions from the students. 3 hours are more than enough to pass. Yes. One student is asking, sir, how do I enroll? Number, please. I've shared the number. You just message the admin. So obviously they will respond. Then you can enroll yourself. So students, I'm giving you two more minutes. Any question, obviously relating to FR, you can ask. So students, any question? You have 2 more minutes. Okay, students are saying just a minute. All clear. 90 minutes if you're studying every day. So make it little bit, I would say more than 90 minutes. Why only 90? Why not little bit more than 90 would be better, I would say, if you can do that. Okay, thanks a lot. I was so anxious before you cleared a lot of things. That's great. If you're going for 3 papers, 2 other papers as well, then it is obviously enough because the good thing is at least I would say 2 hours. At least go for 2 hours. Even though lectures are not so many, they're not so long, but at least go for, I would say, 2 hours. FR syllabus I have just written here. I think you might have joined us late. Look at the syllabus. All the ISS I've written, that is in your syllabus. The list of ISS, and then there are IFRSs, ISB framework, ratio analysis, consolidation, cash flow statement, and final accounts. That's the syllabus. So syllabus is there. So sir, I'm from CA background, came with the exemption. It is my first attempt for, so Mehboob, you should not be worried at all. In fact, if you're coming from CA background, so you will, that's my guarantee, you will find this paper very easy. I do teach CA students as well. in CA, in financial reporting paper, one of my students, she took the gold medal. So Alhamdulillah, we have achieved number of things, mashallah. So we have produced in CA gold medalists as well. So students, thank you very much. That is all. So hope to see you all in my classes. So simply, students, thank you very much. Thank you, students.